Alright, vampirestrom here with a Photoshop tutorial. First one, this one I'm going to be showing you how to make an overlay for Manycam, a virtual webcam for internet broadcasting and such. Now as you can see here, I've already made an overlay, and this is basically what I'm going to be showing you how to make in this one. And all you need is Photoshop and Manycam. If you're just wanting to learn how to do different things with Photoshop, then you don't even need to watch part 2 of this tutorial, just watch this one, part 1. Alright, so as soon as the video catches up with my audio, we'll get started here. And so we're going to go ahead and close out of that. Now you want to go into File and New. Now for this, I setted the width at about 600, the height at about 200, and the pixels per inch at about 50, which is basically just like a banner size, which is what we're going to be doing. Now your color mode doesn't really matter. I always leave mine at about 8-bit RGB, and you want to make sure that the background is transparent. You don't want color for this one. You need it to be transparent. Now once you have all those settings done, click OK, and then just wait for it to load up, and then get started doing the fun part. If you don't make it transparent, it will not work, so just remember that. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a new layer. Now with that new layer selected, we're going to go to the paintbrush tool, and I'm going to, well actually we're going to fill that layer with white. Now when you create a new layer and fill it with white. Then go to your paintbrush tool and select a brush that you want to use. Now for this one I used a gas mask brush pack, which can be downloaded from deviantart.com. I cannot remember who submitted that brush pack, so I apologize for that, but we're just going to pick a brush and resize it to where it'll fit nicely. So yeah, we're using a gas mask for this one, and we're just going to get the right size, and then we're just going to click it until it's the right density, until the black is dark enough. Now if you're using a color, you want to click until the color is about the brightness you want. Now once we have that, we're going to select our magic wand tool. I apologize, I can't remember any of the keyboard shortcuts, so hopefully you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to click off into the white and press delete. Now, since this gas mask brush has some white in it that's being surrounded by black that we don't need, we're just going to click in those areas and press delete as well to get rid of all that white that needs to be transparent. Basically, if this gas mask was in front of you, we're removing the white and making it transparent in the areas that you would be able to see through. Now we're going to rename this layer Gas Mask. Now we're going to go back to layer 1 and get our line tool. Now for this I set the pixels I think at about 75 or so, just to where it fits nicely with our image, wherever you want to put that line coming out of that image, and that needs to be black. And we're just going to take it all the way to the edge. Now I'm going to rename this layer Line. You really don't have to rename the layer, whatever you're going to name the layer, really. It doesn't matter, but I just like to rename those layers so I can keep track of what they are. Now you want to go into the Effects panel and pick Gradient Overlay. Now you don't have to use a gradient, you could just skip this whole section here if you want, but I like to use gradients. So then we're going to double click on the little gradient section on that, and then another box will pop up, and we're going to change our colors. Now I can decide if I just wanted to leave it black and white or not, due to the fact the last one I used was black and red, but I decided to go ahead and go along with another black and red. So we're going to double click on the little slider that is white and slide that over to a red. Click OK. Now we're going to take our black, okay, well, I guess I just left it like that. Now click OK and click OK. I apologize, I'm confusing myself. Now we're going to make another new layer. So you want to go ahead and get a new layer. That one's going to go in between the gas mask and the line. And we're going to use our text tool. And we basically want to make a box for the text. About the same size as that banner, just do not go all the way from that line. You want enough room to type whatever it is you're going to type, whether it be your name or your little broadcast name or whatever. As you can see, I had a couple mishaps with that, so I just had to delete the layer and start over again. But once you get that to about the right size, which as you can see I just got, I took it almost all the way, but I didn't really want to go that far with it. So we're going to select a font here. All the fonts I use can be found on Google. Just Google free fonts or 1001 fonts or whatever. There's so many of those free font websites out there, it's not even funny. We're just going to type in whatever it is we want there. I think the font I used was Dead Secretary. It's actually a pretty cool grungy type font. So here we're just typing in the Vampire Radio Show, which is the name of my broadcast. Which if you're interested in watching that, you can check that out at blogstar.com. So once you get that typed, if it's not the right size, just go back, highlight it, and increase or decrease the font size, depending on your needs and the width of your little banner. Now I just used my move tool to move it into position to where it's readable and not covering up or too close to that gas mask. So now once we've done that, I'm going to select the line layer and take my eraser tool. I'm going to set it kind of small, and I'm just going to erase, sort of clean up that edge to make it sort of give it a, sort of like it's fading away. Just a little bit, not too big of one. Now I'm going to increase the brush size and just sort of click off in the distance to give it another, just a deeper fade to make it fade a little further. Now you don't have to do that, you can leave it solid, but then I'm going to hold down Shift, click on my layers, and go to Save for Web and Devices. Now once that box comes up, you want to make sure your preset is at PNG24, and the little drop down box right below that needs to be at PNG24 as well. Now make sure that the transparent box is checked. If you do not check the transparent box, this won't work and it'll screw up, and you don't want that. Everything that's transparent right now in our image won't be. Just click OK and choose the where the file will be saved to, which in this case I'm going to save it to my desktop, and just name your file. In this case, TVRS gas mask overlay 02. And then just click OK once you have that named and the location selected. Now for what we're doing, we just want to send it to our desktop because we're just going to be importing it into another program and then deleting it off our desktop. So just click OK. You'll get that little green status bar showing that it's being saved, and then that window will close. So now once you have that, that's going to be saved to your desktop, so you can close out of Photoshop. You're done with Photoshop now. I want to thank you all for watching this